What is good? What is good? It is Tuesday, November 11th, 11/11, everybody. You know I had to come on here and go live on 11/11, but it's also my time to recap days 27 through 29 of the 30-day Fruitarian Challenge. So I'm going to allow some people to jump on. If it's your first time checking out one of my lives or my videos in general, welcome. I appreciate you jumping through. I am 𝐟𝐨𝐫𝐞𝐭, the Eat Coach, a certified detoxification specialist and natural health and diet specialist, and free thinker, truth seeker, all those beautiful things, right? Author, content creator, director, a million different titles. But I appreciate you guys jumping on. What I need you to do, though, because I'm still testing this live thing, I need to know, how is my volume, right? I've heard some people saying when I go live that my volume is not loud. Now, I'm using a Rode Wireless Pro that when I do my regular videos have great volume. But for some reason, lives, they have not. So I'm testing this out versus doing it through my desktop, through doing it through my actual plugged in microphone. So want to hear what you guys think. Definitely let me know in the comments. Other than that, like I said, day 27 through day 29 recap of the 30-day Fruitarian Challenge. We're almost there. It's about to be day 30. It's been a awesome journey. I did it for a number of different reasons. What's up, brother? How you doing? 𝐸𝐷𝐿. What's good? What's good, man? Hey, let me know real quick. How is my volume? Is my volume good? Is it low? Can you hear it okay? I just had a couple comments that said it was on some of my earlier lives that said it wasn't coming out too good. So if you could let me know that, that'd be fantastic. But I appreciate you jumping on as well. You know. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. What's up, new YouTuber 98 to 122? What's good? Happy Veterans Day. Today is Veterans Day. So shout out to all the veterans out there. Thank you for your service. It is highly appreciated for sure. For sure. What's going on, William Castellion? How are you, man? Thank you for jumping on. How's everybody's day going? Let me know how everybody's day going. Let's do a little check-in. How's everybody doing mental health wise, right? The weather's getting colder, right? We're starting to shift into the winter type of temperatures here. It's late fall, getting closer and closer to winter. That means the energy shifting. That means that the air and the atmosphere is becoming more alkaline dominant versus acid dominant, which is going to force our bodies to want to eat more acidic foods, more warm foods. So we have to be able to balance that tremendously. Yes, Remembrance Day for sure, for sure. Remembrance Day all the way. So yeah, as you can see, I'm hoodied up. I got a little scully on right now because the temperature is dictating that. Now, this is a temporary thing because hopefully within the next few years, I will be living somewhere tropical. Don't know exactly where that's going to be, but you should check out my Dominican Republic video that I just cut up recently, because that might be the spot, and I probably won't ever have to wear this stuff again. Granted, I love wearing hoodies. It's all good. But anyway, what's on everybody's mind? Feel free, drop some questions, throw some stuff out. If we want to talk health, natural health, diet, things like that, that is the expertise. But I'm also a free thinker and a truth seeker. So we can talk anything on the board, anything from systemic conditioning, societal conditioning, to conspiracies, right? All that stuff, syncretism, whatever you want to talk. I'm here to talk today. But as far as this 30-day Fruitarian Challenge goes, I got 1 day left. I set off to do it to get myself back on track to eating my majority Fruitarian diet, where I eat maybe 1-2 cooked meals a week. That is usually the norm, but I kind of slipped, kind of fell off a little bit. So I needed this challenge to help put me back in line and also to share and build this community with each and one of you guys, right? Highly successful on this 30-day challenge. I lost roughly 10 pounds. I just feel better, just overall feel better. Feel just a lot more energetic. And I had a healing event, a healing crisis, which is something that I wanted to do. I wanted to manifest because I know that while I was slipping, my internal terrain was building up a lot of mucus, building up a lot of acidity, and had some stagnation. So to see my body able to utilize the excess energy and create a healing event, as you can hear, I'm still a little nasally. Just getting rid of all this mucus is a huge thing, right? And allowing it to run its course, so my body can be nice and clean, right? And that's the game plan here. You know, that's a big part of it, and it's been highly successful. So everything that I sought out to do on this 30-day challenge, I have achieved. Now, when I do my day 30, which is going to be my final summary, I'm going to go a little bit into more detail on that. So I'll be going live tomorrow when I do that, because I still got this 1 day left, or these actually technically 2 days left, if I'm counting today and tomorrow, and go from there. So it's been fun. I'd love to hear you guys. What are some of your goals, health goals? Are you dealing with something? Have you been diagnosed with something? Whether it's dealing with excessive weight gain, having trouble losing weight, dealing with some type of chronic disease, autoimmune disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, anything like that you've been dealing with, diabetes, whatever. We can talk about it from the natural perspective. How can I revitalize my body to where it can cure these ailments itself? Or what is actually happening to my body? Because a lot of times you go to the doctor, you get this diagnosis, and you're given these words and you're given these explanations, but they're basically telling you what's happening in real time. They're not telling you how it happened, and they're not telling you what you can do to stop it from happening. And those elements are really what's key in curing and creating a healthy life for yourself. Right? I dive into that a lot in my new book. That's will be coming out the first of the year, 28th of January, called Detox Yourself. There's a link in the description. You can pre-order it right now, but I dive into all of that on why that happens, and also what you can do to truly detox yourself, because detoxing isn't just, oh, I'm going to take these pills for 30 days and I'm going to, have a bowel movement every 15 minutes, and I'm going to feel like my entire insides have been ripped out of my body and now I'm ready to go. I'm detoxed. No, that's not how detoxing works. Those detoxes you buy at the stores are, what they're actually doing, they are manipulating your body into eliminating, and in the process are messing with the normal functions of your body. Remember, when you manipulate your body, you stop your body from producing and going through the processes it normally would. So understand that anytime you manipulate the body, and look, we manipulate our bodies all the time, right? Every time you turn on the TV, something is selling you something to manipulate your body. When you take medicine, you are manipulating your body. When you take steroid injections, whether that be for whatever the case may be, a B12 injection, any type of injection or steroid or testosterone or estrogen or anything like that, you are manipulating your body. You're manipulating your body and stopping your body from its normal processes. So then your body relies on those things in order to function. So it stops doing what it normally would. And it's just backwards thinking. So understand that. And that goes across the board. You have, if you look at from your thyroid, you got hyperthyroidism, right? Your thyroid is just acting too fast, it's moving too fast, right? So you take something to slow it down, right? You are manipulating the body instead of getting to the root cause of that and allowing your body to adjust normally, because those manipulations stop your body altogether from doing what it's supposed to do. So if you stop taking those pills, guess what? Your body is not going to react well, because it's relying on it so much. Same thing with caffeine, right? You drink a lot of caffeine to keep yourself going, to keep yourself going, to keep yourself going. Well, then your body stops creating the natural hormones and natural chemicals to actually, do that on its own, right? It relies on those things. Just understand that, right? So let's not manipulate ourselves. Let's learn how to detox ourselves the correct way. And look, we detox all the time. So it's something that is it's part of your day to day. Every time you sneeze, every time you burp, every time you pee, every time you have a bowel movement, every time you have a rash, right? Every time I'm trying to think of what else. There's so many others, right? I don't know, anytime you sweat, right? That is detoxing. That is detoxing. You're detoxing all the time. And when you start to eliminate the foods that create like a barrier, create like a first of all massive burden, but also like a wall to stop you from eliminating, right? Like once you start eliminating those, then all of a sudden you realize, man, I got a lot I got to get rid of. And then you start detoxing more and more and more to the point where you detox, you get rid of, the majority of the detoxing you need to do. Not that you'll never detox again, because look, we poop and we pee every day. That is detoxing, right? But then you won't be having allergies and you won't be having a cold every other month and you won't be dealing with the flu and fevers and things of that nature. And then you start to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and we get into the more subacute issues and more chronic issues, you won't even touch those things. All right. So it's very important to understand how to detox yourself the right way. And the detoxing isn't just a physical thing. It's also a mental thing. It's also an emotional thing. It's a psychological thing, and it is a spiritual thing. So I touch on all that in the book. Like I said, Detox Yourself. You can pre-order it right now in the description. So, and actually, that is a great segue to kind of what's going to be going on moving forward on my page, the Eat Coach. I am going to be shifting after this challenge to a different type of live called Detox Yourself, and where I'm going to dive into different elements of that in each episode, and also make it very interactive with all you guys to bring your questions, right? I'm actually going to pull damn near every question and some comments and statements that have been put on my page on different videos and different shorts and things like that, and address them all. And then for you to be on there live, you can ask questions as well, and I'll be able to answer those in real time, right? So we can all learn this stuff together, right? Because it's not being taught. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you learned it in school, because you don't. It's not like you learn it on TV, because you don't. It's not like you learn it from your healthcare practitioners, because you don't. Really, the only way you can learn this is by, if you come across somebody who has, been privy enough to learn this information, because it's not readily available. And that's why I do it. You know what I'm saying? To share it, because once I figured it out, once I learned it, I was like, man, how the fuck is this? Like, do people not know about this? How do people not understand, and why are we not taught how our body actually truly works? It's really mind-boggling, because we're talking about our body here. We're not talking about the kind of car we drive. We're not talking about the house we live in, right? We're talking about our body, the most sovereign thing we have, the one thing that we own to an extent. We can have a conversation about that too, but like this is who we are. This is who you're going to be with. Like from the moment you're born to the moment you die, like the most important aspect of your life is your physical body. And this stuff has just been hidden from us. And we've been sold a lie for our entire lives. And most of us don't even realize it. So, that's the motivation behind doing all this. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. I think about, this is what's crazy. You think about how much effort, think about this, how much effort we put in to buy a new car, right? We're looking to buy a new car, right? We put so much energy in that. We're looking at all different styles of cars. Okay, well, what car, is the safest? Which car, you're gonna test drive a bunch of cars. Which one has the features I like? Which one has the best resale value? Okay, I found the car I want. Which dealership's gonna give me the best deal? Where do I get the best interest rate? How many years should I do? What term? How much money am I gonna put down? Am I going to trade my car in? How much value am I going to get for my car? All this research to buy a vehicle, Then you think about, man, how much energy and time we put into trying to buy a house. Oh man, what's the neighborhood like? What's the resale value in this area? What are the schools like? Let's see, what type of features do I want in my house? Let me look at all these different houses and see which one I like best. Which one has a pool? Which one doesn't? Are the neighbors too close? Do I got more land? All these different things that go into account to buy a house, right? We put all this energy and effort into buying a house, right? I mean, even what show are we going to watch tonight? We'll watch 15 trailers. We'll jump in Reddit forums. We'll try to figure out, man, what's the best show to binge? All this effort and energy. But when it comes to our health and our body, I'll be all right. I'll eat this hamburger and fries. I'll be good. This new Kellogg's cereal came out. Okay. You know what I'm saying? This new medicine came out. I'll try it. This new inoculation came out. I'll try it. All these different things, right? All these different things that have to do with healthcare, and people are just like, it's no big deal. They won't put the energy and effort into doing research on that. And that's, to me, what is absolutely mind-boggling. What's going on, Plato ABC? What's good, bud? Micah, Brian, and Ellie, how are you? Happy 11/11, Veterans Day, Remembrance Day, peace and love. Yes, yes, yes. Let me know how you guys are doing. But just getting back to my point, like, we should be putting more energy into understanding our body and our health than anything else, more than the car we want to drive, more than the house and neighborhood we want to live in, more than the show we want to watch on Netflix. Like, it's crazy to me how much research we will do on stuff that truly doesn't matter, truly superficial things, as opposed to the amount of effort that we put into the most sovereign and important thing, and that is our bodies, to truly understand our bodies and to care about everything you put inside your body. Because we don't. Like, we treat our bodies like we don't care about them. Like, the fact that you would eat something on a continuous basis that is doing you harm is crazy to me, because I don't think we apply those same standards in other aspects of our life. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to, and I guess you do it for the enjoyment of it, that instant gratification of enjoyment. Oh man, the taste of that Pop-Tart is like so good that I just can't pass it up. So I'm going to eat this Pop-Tart. You know what I'm saying? Or, man, the taste of those M&Ms are just, hey, look, the M&Ms. I love M&Ms. I grew up eating M&Ms. I'm going to eat M&Ms. You know what I'm saying? Versus like thinking of, okay, maybe I can live without the Pop-Tarts. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can substitute the Pop-Tart for something else that's for the betterment of me. You know what I'm saying? And truly understanding it, because the thing is that most people don't even understand that far. They don't even understand the fact that the Pop-Tart is bad for them, right? Or we get sold certain things like, oh, sugar's bad for you, or, protein is really good for you. Eat more protein, not as much sugar, and things of that nature. So we hear these concepts thrown at us from different areas to which we kind of submit to, because we haven't done the research ourselves to understand what our body truly needs. And it's not difficult. It's actually pretty easy if you truly look at it. You look at it from a nature standpoint. Oh, appreciate you, Mike and Brian Ellie. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the subscriptions and the love. Thank you so much. Shout out Micah, Brian, and Ellie for joining the Eat Coach page. Hey, look, a lot of passion on this page. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to really, 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 really understand how simple it is to at least have the knowledge of what is healthy, because the answer is for you in nature every day. Like we are the only species that cook our food, the only ones on the entire planet. Um, we are the only ones that eat outside of our natural instinct. Um, so if you think we're the only ones that add seasonings and a bunch of other things to our foods, like all these different things. So the answer is really easy in nature. The question is when you get the answer, what are you going to do with it? And that's where someone like myself comes in, because I'm here trying to show everybody, hey, look, no one's telling you to go from 100 miles an hour to zero, right? To make a sudden stop in your life and completely push everything out and start eating the frugivore diet immediately, which is, it's going to consist of your fruits, your leafy greens, some nuts and seeds, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that is the gold standard of health. That is what your body was designed for. So wherever you are, you need to implement more of that into your life and continuously implement it so you can get on the path to healing and health versus on the path to destruction and death. Because that really is the fork in the road and which side you're going to go on. And just by understanding that, just by knowing that, should cloud out a lot of the other noise. Unfortunately, it doesn't, because that's where the questions start to pop in, because we've heard so many things our whole life. Well, what about protein? Like, how do I get my protein? Or what about B12? Or what about how am I going to get all my macronutrients? Am I going to get enough calcium? Am I going to get enough sodium? Am I going to get enough vitamin A? Am I going to get enough this, that, and the other? Am I going to get enough omega-3s and omega-6s? My fats, am I going to get enough fat? All those different things start to pop into your head, because that's how we've been confused and conditioned to look at those things that truly don't matter. Now, do they have a function? Of course they do. But you don't need to worry about it at all. What you need to worry about is implementing as much of that gold standard diet into your life. You should be eating more raw food than cooked food, and that should be your goal. Right? And once you attain that goal, then we can start taking incremental steps. You know what I'm saying? At the top, you can only see one person watching or two. Yeah, it fluctuates. You know what I'm saying? On the lives for sure. But it is what it is. Did you like my fan art? Yes, I did. That was pretty clever. At first I jumped on my dashboard and I saw that and I was like, I didn't make that picture. I didn't post that. And I was like, did I get hacked? So I jump in or whatever. I'm looking for my post and I can't find it. And I'm new to the community thing on YouTube. So then I hit the viewer post and I see that you made it, man. And it was pretty dope, dude. It was pretty cool. Appreciate that. Yeah. Any suggestions for someone who deals with undiagnosed gut issues? I have motility issues and chronic constipation. What's going on, Rusty ZTV? I appreciate you jumping on. Look, I dealt with a lot of gut issues and constipation myself, and IBS, combination of the three. And the first thing that I would suggest for you, now granted, I don't know your diet, so if you could share more, that'd be great. Yeah, man. Once again, laxatives are manipulating the body. Laxatives are manipulating the body. Let me take something that is going to force my gut to eliminate when it's not ready to eliminate. The reason why people get constipated is because they are chronically dehydrated. We're all, and listen to my words, we are all chronically dehydrated. From not only this generation of eating, but from generations past, because we eat majority cooked, if not all, cooked food. That is going to ultimately dehydrate you. So from a constipation standpoint, that's where it stands, right? Technically, listen to this, everybody. Technically, we're supposed to be having a bowel movement shortly after every meal. Look at nature. Look at how animals operate. You feed your dog. What do you do shortly after you feed them? You let them out. Why? Because they eliminate. That's how our bodies are supposed to work. Unfortunately, we're so dehydrated that we end up with constipation and gut issues and whatnot. So speaking to the constipation in itself, that is a dehydration issue. The first thing is, or two things really, and this is going to help just with the gut issue overall, is eating more hydrating foods, right? Looking at your diet. What is the ratio of cooked food that I'm eating versus raw food? Let's start to move that more towards raw. Also, eating leafy greens. Leafy greens have the minerals that will help rebuild the gut. All right? Because if you're having gut issues, right, it's a combination of dehydration as well as excessive acidity that are starting to mess with the bowel wall. I'm sorry, not the bowel, the stomach lining and whatnot. So what happens is a lot of times your body will create this mucus lining around your stomach because of all the acid forming foods that you're eating. So that disrupts the normal function of the stomach. There's certain foods you probably can't eat very well. Also, your tolerance is probably very low, which in essence is a good thing. And what I mean by that is there might be certain foods that you start to eat and then you have like an explosive bowel movement, like very quickly. That's because your body is getting rid of it extremely fast because it knows your stomach can't handle it. And most people, society will tell you, oh, you have a problem. No, you don't have a problem. The problem isn't you. The problem is the foods that our society has become accustomed to looking at as normal. So if you're eating red meat or you're eating cheese or you're eating something that is causing you to have excessive bowel movements or cramps or anything like that, it's not because you have an issue in your stomach. It's because you're putting in the wrong type of food. You start eating the natural diet, you start implementing more raw foods, and you see you don't have those issues when you eat that food. So then is it really your stomach's problem or is it the actual food that you're eating? Right. So, and that's one thing that I had to understand because my entire life I was told I was lactose intolerant and I told that I had stomach issues because when I ate lactose and when I ate certain foods like red meats and other things, like I would have explosive bowel movements or my stomach would hurt or then I would end up extremely constipated. So I had the issue. No, it wasn't the issues. I was eating the wrong food. But once I started eating the right food, I didn't have those issues anymore. And all of a sudden, my stomach's fine. So that's really what you're looking at, Rusty Z. My diet has been getting better. I still do eat meat, but I've upped my fiber. I take in eating more whole foods. Good for you, man. Good for you. Listen. That's a big part of it, man. As I'm trying to go through these comments real quick. Still a brain rot, just a brain guy. I'm only a kid. I'm 7 years old. What's going on, Mike? Yeah, so I use slippery elm, marshmallow root, little bit of 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 sagrada to induce a bowel movement. If I don't literally wouldn't have a natural urge to use the bathroom. Unfortunately, my situation is a little complicated. I need help. Rusty Z, I totally get it, man. Look, the herb route, I got nothing against the herb route. Like I came up through Dr. Morse. He is like the master herbalist out there. Yaki's another great herbalist. So if it's helping you at the moment, nothing wrong with that. What I suggest though, is you have to get to the core root, right? The herbs are going to help. They're going to help manipulate. They're going to help get you moving, but it is not going to help with the urge to use the bathroom. And ultimately, unless you want to utilize those herbs for the rest of your life, because they do have toxic side effects. Understand that. You're going to have to get to the core root, and the core root is going to be implementing more raw foods. Like I said, what's your ratio? How much cooked food do you eat versus raw whole foods for fruits, leafy greens, right? Is it 80% cooked, 20% raw? 90-10, 70-30. Whatever that number is, let's start moving it more towards the raw side. See if you can get to 50-50 and then move on from there. And I promise you, you will see the gut issues start to turn because all of the alkalinity, all of the hydration, all of the energy you're going to receive, your body's going to be able to utilize to heal your stomach because there's issues there, right? And not to mention the excess hydration is only going to help the bowel movements that much more. Lauren Lockman, who's like the best when it comes to water fasting, you know, he broke it down very simple, right? Very simple. All right. He basically said, think about what you're eating. Like, say, for instance, you're eating a cooked piece of steak. Just say a cooked piece of steak, right? You take that piece of steak, cooked piece of steak. How much water content is in that steak? Not much, right? Because you got to cook it, right? You're cooking, and whenever you cook, you start to, you start to degrade you degrade the nutrients, but you start to disintegrate the water in it, right? So you're eating a cooked steak, not to mention the seasonings that are on that steak, right? All these things that you're eating, not much water content in that piece of steak. Let's say it's an 8-ounce piece of steak. You eat that 8-ounce piece of steak, right? Not much water within that food. So now you have to digest that food, right? It has to flow through your entire body. What do you think helps it flow through your body? Well, water, right? Okay. And then once your body, breaks that piece of meat down, can take anywhere from 4 to 8, sometimes even 24 hours, depending on how your system's moving for that piece of steak. Think about how much water that needs to do that. Okay. Then to have a bowel movement, think about how much water is needed to actually eliminate that piece of steak. You only got a little bit of water from the steak. Now, all of a sudden, you need all this water to get rid of that steak. Where's that water coming from? Where's it coming from? If you're not eating a majority raw diet and you're not drinking excess amounts of water, because that's how much you would need to even come close to compensating if you're eating a lot of cooked food, you don't have the water within your system to eliminate it unless you start pulling it from other areas. And that's what happens is your body starts pulling the water from your organs. It starts pulling the water from your bones. That's what happens. And that's why I say we're chronically dehydrated, because that's what's happening. That's why your body can't have a bowel movement every day, because it doesn't have any excess water to do so. So you start eating the foods that have high water content and make that a big feature of your diet, and you'll see it's going to change. Is it going to change overnight? No, because you're so backed up. It's going to take time, but that is the path to healing what you're dealing with, Rusty. Yeah, my ratio is a little bit unbalanced. Any suggestions on simple meal ideas? You're talking, I am the most simple meal idea person on the planet, but I eat mono fruit meals, meaning I have a short eating window from about 12 to 6 o'clock. I'd say you could do 12 to 8, but pretty much I don't eat anything after 6. And I will eat mono fruit. Like, I will eat 6 to 8 bananas at noon. Then I'll probably eat 2 pounds of grapes for my next meal, and then have some type of leafy greens. For my dinner, I'll make a leafy green smoothie. A real good, look, I'll give you a great smoothie, man. I'm going to make a video on this one. Very simple, right? You do about 3 bananas. You do about 1.5, 2 cups of frozen mangoes. Get about a good handful, maybe 2 handfuls of leafy greens, right? Throw about 5 strawberries in there. And if you want to add some flavor, you can. And this is a little bit protein. Don't do this too much, but maybe 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Now, make sure the peanut butter is pure peanut butter. No salt, no oils added, nothing. Just pure peanut butter, right? Throw that in the blender. That's about 600, 700 calories right there. and tastes amazing and very nutritious and very high water consumption, right? If you like melons, melons are great, but make sure you eat them by themselves. You know what I'm saying? All right, Play-Doh, man. Good to see you, bud. Be good, man. Um, so that's an easy meal idea. But like I said, I'm a mono fruit eater, man. So if there's a fruit that you like, stick to that fruit and make it a meal. That doesn't mean a handful of grapes. You got to match the calories. So, I don't know your size and weight and things of that nature, but I try to shoot for 500 to 600 calories a meal, right? On the low end. So, use an app like Chronometer and figure out, okay, how many grapes can I eat to get me to about 500, 600 calories? It's going to be close to 2 pounds, right? How many bananas? That's going to be about 5 to 6 bananas. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot of apples, right? But if you want to mix like your apples and bananas or something like that, you can kind of work it that way. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no problem, Rusty Z. Anytime, man, for sure. Anytime. I'm telling you, it's crazy when you start to do it and go down the path, how quick you see your body change, how your awareness changed to where now you start to understand, man, every time I eat, I'm just going to throw something out, cereal, I feel a certain kind of way afterwards, which you didn't realize before because your body had built up such a tolerance to those things that, it's almost like alcohol, right? You drink all the time and you don't, it's harder to get drunk. It's harder to get intoxicated because your body has built up a tolerance to it. Same thing happens with food. You eat food you're not supposed to eat, toxic foods, poisonous foods, foods that are not meant for the human body, and your body builds up a tolerance for it. And this tolerance has actually been built for humans for generations. But once you stop eating them and you start eating the correct foods, your body is going to let you know when you put something in your mouth or and you swallow something that is not meant to be there. It's going to let you know, and you're gonna be like, damn, I never felt like this before when I ate Fruit Loops, but now, shit, I feel like I feel every little piece of that Fruit Loop going down my digestive tract, and yeah, it don't feel good. So it's really crazy. Hey, Rusty, also, man, look, man, if you need some more help, you can hit me up offline on all socials. I do free consultations. You can go to my website, the 𝐸AT.com, set up a free consultation, and we can get a little bit deeper and see if there's not a plan we can't put you on or something like that to help you get where you ultimately want to be. See, I love the mono meal idea. I kind of do that already. I just gotta, yeah, man. Bread, gluten, meat, dairy. Yeah, meat. I would start with meat and dairy. Try to eliminate that as much as you can because those two are killers, especially for the gut. Especially for the gut, man. Gluten. Yeah, I mean all those things. At the end of the day, but look, steps, man. Incremental steps. It took me a while. It takes most people a while, but it's about taking those incremental steps, getting to that point where you can look back 5, 6 months from now and be like, oh shoot, you know what? Man, I ain't eating red meat in a minute, and I'm okay. I feel okay. And you build off of that, and you will get addicted to feeling better, especially the gut. Most definitely am going to look into it, brother. I've been following your content. Oh man, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Now's the time, man. Get on it. And I appreciate the support for real, for us being able to do this and share with each other. Cause look, I mean, I haven't dealt with I can't relate to every issue out there, but the gut, that is one thing I can heavily relate to, man. And look, when I eat off course, man, when I eat some cooked food, sometimes if I'm eating the wrong cooked food, or especially if you go to restaurants, because you don't know what they're putting in these foods, like my gut tells me immediately, I'll come home and I'll run to the bathroom because like, man, like my gut's like, you had no business eating that. So it's all about progress, man. Stay with it. Give yourself grace. Don't get down on yourself, man. Give yourself grace. Study yourself. See how you operate. A big thing I'm learning even more about, specifically with myself, is portions, right? Like when we eat out, we eat so much, man. They give you, when you go to a restaurant, you order a meal, they're not giving you no one serving size. They're giving you like 4 serving sizes. And some people, me being one of them, my wife definitely being one of them, like, I have just been conditioned to finish the meal. Like, there's something about seeing the food on the plate in front of you and feeling like you have to eat all of it. Well, you don't, man. I'm telling you, those serving sizes are for like 4 people. So not only, if you're eating cooked, like, not only are you eating food that's not fit for your body, you're eating 4 times as much as you should. So, that's just going to do extra damage, right? So portions are really, really big too, especially in the transition aspect. Went through a spiritual awakening and went through a lot when this all started, and then it all came crashing down, and then I developed health issues, chronic constipation, motility issues, lazy bowel, and sleep disturbances. Yeah, man. Look, man, the thing about an awakening, hey, and congratulations on the awakening, that's beautiful, um, is they change you, man. Um, Mind, body, and soul, it's all connected. And you're going to see things you haven't seen before, which I'm sure you've dealt with already. And but the main thing is to truly understand that it is all connected, all of it, um, mind, body, and soul. So if this ain't right, this ain't right. If you're spiritually you're not right, you're not going to be right. Emotionally, it's the whole gamut, man. That's why one of the biggest kickers for me on why I even started this journey and became a vegetarian 8 years ago is because I knew that from a spiritual standpoint, I knew I wouldn't be able to ascend if I didn't do it, if I didn't give up eating conscious creatures. Like, that was one of the biggest awakenings for me. And I haven't turned back since, you know what I'm saying? But give yourself grace, man. You're going to be experiencing so many different things, not only from the physical sense, but emotionally and the whole gamut. But you get the core diet right, and you'll watch how a lot of these other things start to fall in place, man. Because the clarity, your ability to connect spiritually is going to change tremendously. I'm telling you, because think about it. If we're talking about it from a spiritual sense, connecting is all about what? It's all about energy, right? And then where do you conjure up your energy? Well, you conjure up your energy from nature, because it's all about electricity. It's all about nature. And what's the most electric food on the planet? It's fruit. It's fruit. It's food that's grown from the earth. It's the expression of the plant, because the fruit is going to absorb the sunlight. It's going to receive the water. It's going to touch every element. It's going to be a part of the ether. It's going to be a part of the earth, part of the air, everything. And then you take that electricity in its rawest, purest form, and then you consume it. That energy becomes you. High energy input, high electricity. And then, this is the beauty of the design, fruit is the easiest food to digest. So you don't expend a lot of energy when you digest it. So you get to take that accumulation of energy and build it up within your body, all the electricity. So think about how much easier it is to connect spiritually when you have the excess amount of electromagnetic energy versus eating a cooked piece of dead carcass that has zero energy, absolutely zero energy, no magnetic energy at all. This has been captured by Kieran photography, like absolutely no electromagnetic energy in a cooked piece of meat that you absorb, that you expend so much energy just digesting and then trying to connect. It just doesn't make sense. So that's why this is bigger than, man, I'm going to get a good blood test. Man, I'm going to lose some weight. This is bigger than that. This is mind, body, soul. All those same reasons I talked about connecting are very synonymous to your ability to think clearly, your ability to be well emotionally, your mental health status, cognitive behavior, all these different things associated, pretty much the same reasons. You eat the fruit, you eat the electricity, and those areas are going to be heightened. You're going to thrive in those areas. Bro, I literally resonate with everything you just. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I felt moved to say it. You know what I mean? Because I felt, a lot of times when I talk, like I'm getting it from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting it because I feel like in this moment I'm a vessel. You know what I mean? So that came from somewhere higher than just RL talking to you on this live, right? But that's what makes this thing so beautiful, man. It's so beautiful, and when people get it and they understand it and they start implementing it, man, it's it's like family. You know what I mean? I feel like when I hear stories, hear you guys talk about, you started doing this and you're seeing this. Like my brother told me today that he's been, 78 days no alcohol, right? Which is just amazing, right? And how he's lost a lot of weight and he feels so much better every time he wakes up because he's been implementing some of these things into his diet. And now how he feels when he goes back and reverts back to some of the old things, how it makes him feel. And it's like, man, it just makes me realize that, yeah, we're all different, but nothing changes what the gold standard of diet is, what we were designed to eat. Nothing changes that. Are we in different positions? Oh, yeah, for sure. Right? But as far as what we're supposed to eat and how we've been designed physiologically, we're all the same. We're all the same. Channeling the knowledge, brother. I truly get it now. So, yeah, man. Hey, all of us, man. Give yourself grace, dude. Baby steps. Enjoy the journey, right? And make sure that you take the time to give yourself your flowers. You know what I mean? Celebrate the wins. Every little win you make, bro, celebrate that. Share it with us. You know what I'm saying? Put it on my page. Put it on my page. I would love to celebrate it. In fact, now that I just think that's all I'm going to do, I'm going to have a dedicated live to celebrate the wins. Now, I need you guys to put wins on there. Don't get me wrong. I can't just make up wins. Celebrate the wins. Let's celebrate the wins together. I'm celebrating my win tomorrow of 30 days of nothing but raw, whole fruits, leafy greens, some nuts and seeds. That's what I'm celebrating. All right. So let's celebrate the wins together, because that's man. We're doing stuff, guys, that 95% of the world don't even like can't even think about doing because of how bad we've been conditioned. And our job is to be the testament to show them, hey, this is the path, man. Let's better humanity, right? One meal at a time. And watch the ripple effect of that, man. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Truly and honestly. That's what pushes me. That's what motivates me. You know what I'm saying? 100%. In December, it'll be a whole year since I've been off of, man, see now, that's a win. That is a big win. Yo, shout out Rusty Z TV. 1 year in December being off of pharmaceutical medication. Bro, that is a major win. Congratulations. That is amazing. Listen, man, I talk about this. I talk about this in my book too. Like, whatever way you want to look at medication, at the end of the day, it is a toxic chemical. I don't care which medicine it is. It is a toxic chemical. And while it may manipulate your body in one way to stop doing one thing, it is causing damage in one form or fashion in another. There's not a debate to that. All right. So, like, understand that, for everybody out there who might still be on medication. I know it's not easy, because look, we're talking about our life. There's a lot of fear there, right? But when you look at how nature works, specifically how your body works, medication like is the antithesis of that. It goes against everything natural within your body's normal process because your body has one goal in mind, that is ultimately to keep you alive, to keep you and your species going. So it would never do anything to harm that. Now, it may choose to allocate its energy in a more vital place than another. Maybe you got some type of nagging issue in your elbow, but your body's like, you could live with that, but you can't live without being able to see. So I'm gonna go fix your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna happen, right? But it's never gonna do anything to kill you. It's never going to do anything to hurt or necessarily harm you without it being for the betterment of you ultimately. So you might go through some pain, but it's never going to ultimately end your life trying to for the betterment of you. Now, do people die? Yes, you die because you know what? You run out of energy. There's really nothing your body can do. It's done everything it can, and then you cease to exist. But from a medical standpoint, like medication is only trying to supplement some marker or some type of symptom. And those symptoms are part of the healing process, and those markers are part of the manifestation of what you've done to your body. So if you have high blood pressure, right? It's high. Why? Well, because of what you've been eating, what you've been exposing yourself to. So you fix those things, and guess what? You don't need the high blood pressure medication anymore. You know what I mean? So, or you're taking pills because I don't know. I mean, let's just say you do a breathing machine because you have chronic bronchitis, right? You have chronic bronchitis, right? You have inflammation in your bronchial tubes. Okay, well, what's causing the inflammation? Right? And how is me taking this breathing machine going to cure that? Well, it's not. It's just going to break up some of that mucus and allow yourself to breathe better. Okay, still not fixing the problem. You know what I mean? So, all right, maybe I should cut out dairy. Yeah, it's probably a good idea, considering the fact that's one of, if not the most mucus forming food that humans consume. You know, it's just a different way of looking at it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Rusty ZTV, almost a year being off of pharmaceutical medication. Keep that moving forward, man. Just understand that, your amazing body can deal with it itself. And if it's happening, it's only the manifestation. It's only the manifestation of what you've done yourself. The accountability aspect and knowing that, okay, well, if I fix my diet, if I eliminate this, then you know what? I can eliminate these symptoms. Medications on for sleep, it made it all worse. Then they tried to add more pills, and when it stopped working, I hated it. Didn't feel like myself. Yeah, chemicals, man. When we ingest chemicals, like they're going to take us away from who we truly are, because chemicals are on the acid side of chemistry, and acids, they're destructive, they're degenerative, right? They are corrosive. So you've seen the trends and the massive uptick in cognitive issues, right? ADHD, autism, depression, anxiety, all these different cognitive issues that people are dealing with. Right? I wouldn't say depression is necessarily cognitive, but aspects of it are. You know what I'm saying? But all these different issues, because we are ingesting and consuming more foreign chemistry into our bodies, more destructive acidic chemistry into our bodies than ever before. If we're ingesting things that are corrosive, destructive, I mean, that's what's happening inside of our body. Nerves and organs and all that, being cells basically at the end of the day being destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So, and sleep is a big one. I'm not sure if you're a coffee drinker, Rusty Z, but if there's issues with your melatonin production, well, where does that stem from? You know what I mean? Now my sleep onset has improved. Okay, I did deal with sleep disturbances and excessive dreaming some nights on average. If I don't wake up, I get like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. Okay. Okay. Well, then that just means you're getting there, man. I mean, the sleep thing is a lot better, so that's huge. A lot of things go into to sleep when we're talking about disturbances and whatnot. Number one, I would say, is electricity, man. Do you do you sleep with your phone by you? Do you have your Wi-Fi turned on when you go to sleep? Is your phone in airplane mode or is it on? Things like that. I mean, that's going to have a huge effect on your sleep. Not to mention, how late are you eating? What's the last meal that you're eating? All these have impacts. What are you watching or doing before you eat? Are you watching TV before you go to sleep? I meant sleep, yeah. Before you go to sleep? Or are you reading a book, right? Are you preparing yourself to get to sleep? There's a million different things, man. Have you ever tried yoga nidra, right? Man, I'll tell you this. I used to, I shouldn't say I used to, we still do, but we host retreats, right? Called Escape Within. That's the name of the company. And the first retreat we did, we had a lady working with us who did yoga nidra. And if you haven't done yoga nidra before, it's basically like it's not really yoga, it's more like a stretching exercise. And then ultimately you end in shavasana, which you're kind of laying down, and you damn near fall asleep. I fell asleep. And it is so calming, so relaxing. I'm not sure I've ever slept better in my life than when I did that. You literally prepare your body for sleep. You're in a full calming, almost meditative state, and you fall asleep and you sleep like never before. So if you have trouble sleeping, like yoga nidra or something, you definitely need to check out for sure. I do drink coffee or green tea. My melatonin production has gotten better, I feel like, compared to the couple months ago. For sure. Yes. Just understand that the coffee and tea is going to manipulate your melatonin production because your body starts to rely on those caffeine sources. So it feels like it doesn't need to produce like it normally would. All right. Now, coffee was, out of all the things I've given up, coffee was by far the hardest in the short term. What I mean by that is I gave up coffee a few years ago. I can't remember exactly, 3, 4 years ago. And for a week, I went through the toughest detox I've ever went through. Like my whole body ached, my joints, just a tough detox after giving up coffee. But after that week, totally fine. Have never looked back. Have never had a sip of coffee since. Right? Never felt better either. So tough to get rid of. I totally understand, but just understand that that is probably a big part of the sleeping situation too. Is the coffee and caffeine, any form of caffeine for sure. Hey, make sure y'all give me a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs some thumbs up for this algorithm that YouTube likes to put out there to make sure this gets in front of as many people. And if you guys haven't subbed yet, make sure you hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you know when I go live. I got a whole new live series called Detox Yourself. It's going to be kind of similar today, actually, where we're going to do live Q&A, talk about different concepts of detoxing and whatnot, and, just getting to the root of the cause and the issue. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you. And soon we're gonna have some subscription type stuff, some real good stuff moving forward. And I got my book coming out January 28th, Detox Yourself. The link is in the description. You can pre-order it now. And if you pre-order it, here's the cool thing: if you pre-order it, you'll get a behind the book podcast exclusive only to people that pre-order. That will actually go deeper into each chapter. All right, so it's really cool. And you get an autographed copy from me. So check that out. But other than that, Rusty Z, man, I appreciate all the questions, man. If you have any others, man, keep them coming for sure. I got a few more minutes on here, and then we're going to wrap it up. But otherwise, I hope everybody is enjoying this and enjoying your Tuesday, 11/11 for sure. I'll schedule. Okay, cool. Sounds good, man. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. Thank you. Hey, look, man, as far as the budget goes, man, I work with you. You know what I mean? I do what I can on my end. If it makes sense, we could put something together. I'm not here trying to put anybody in any type of bad financial position by any means. It's more about sharing the knowledge and just matching the energy. Energy return on energy invested. That's how I would tell everybody too, because a lot of people talk about, man, it's so expensive to eat healthy. Okay, yeah, you're gonna spend a little bit more up front, which is crazy when you truly think about it, considering the food comes from the earth. Um, but at the same time, you want to pay for it now or you want to pay for it later, because if you're buying medication, if you're in the hospital, if you're dealing with ailments and whatnot, if you get yourself so far down the stages of disease, it's going to cost you a lot more than what it's going to cost you up front. So understand that. You know what I mean? So energy return on energy invested for sure. But anyways, all right, guys. I appreciate everybody jumping on with me. Unless anybody has some last questions, I will shut it down for today. But remember, anything that's got to do with diet, with detoxing, with ailments, sicknesses, mind, body, soul, even conspiracies, I can talk. Let me know. I'd be happy to talk about it. Take, brother. Have a great day. You too, man. Be good. Be good, man. All right. So we're going to shut it down, everybody. Thanks for everybody from joining in. And then I would be back tomorrow with my summary of letting everybody know ultimately how my 30-day Fruitarian challenge turned out. All right. Peace and love, guys. You guys be good. I'm out of here.